Okay, excellent. Well, I'm going to start actually with a short clip. Okay, so let's start with that, and then we can get going. Okay, so Mabahai, everybody. Great to be here again. Thank you for joining me this morning. Last year, I had the pleasure of presenting on Society 5.0. And this year, I have the pleasure of sharing with you our vision for the future of business as reimagined by data and cloud. I'd just like to say a hello to one of my former colleagues, Dennis. Really nice to see you. I haven't seen you for so long. I think we're both in Singapore at the moment presenting today. So look, I wish I could be there in person. Unfortunately, not possible.
Hopefully next year, sir.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, I'm thinking maybe 6 or 7 months, right? And we should be okay.
Great. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So look, Oracle have had a presence in the Philippines for the last 31 years, you know, and during that period, we've seen technology on this incredible journey. Starting with the introduction of the internet, right, in the 90s, Wi-Fi, the iPhone back in 2007, the rise of artificial intelligence and social networking, and 4 generations of mobile networks, 2G, 3G, 4G, and now 5G, for those of you who are old enough to remember, of course, opening up the path to a whole new generation of applications and use cases. So, you know, there are a number of characteristics that a company must embrace if they are to successfully transform their business to a future-ready company. So my intention today is to cover some of those key areas of focus along with the technology that enables that transformation. And also I want to share some examples of use cases and customers who have successfully embraced those attributes as they begin their journey of business transformation. I'm sure, you know, many of these attributes, you'll see a common theme with all of the presenters today as we work our way through these. So the first one I wanted to touch on was actually agility. Now, business reaction time to change is one of the key factors determining success. The ability to pivot and adapt in today's rapidly changing world is crucial to be able to capitalize on the next wave, whatever that might be, right? Now here in Oracle, we've been using social listening to track trends in the Asia Pacific market. This helps us ensure that the solutions we provide are aligned with our customers' priorities. And turbocharged decision-making was mentioned again and again and again. And there is obviously a big push in companies in this region to eliminate bottlenecks and make way for high-speed decision-making by using powerful algorithms and data-rich platforms to spot gaps, immediately prioritize meaningful problems, and identify the most efficient way to solve them. You know, one example of this, I guess, is the F&B sector. It's a prime example, right, of businesses who are agile and able to respond quickly to lockdowns. And they were able to survive and grow by switching very rapidly to home deliveries, whereas unfortunately other less agile businesses would fall by the wayside. This also partially fueled that explosion in super apps, you know, such as Grab, which I understand is quite popular in the Philippines, Gojek and Paytm. And they all provide marketplaces of services and offerings that have increasingly become integrated with many aspects of our daily lives over the last couple of years. The next one I want to talk about, which Dennis also mentioned, I see, during his presentation, was resiliency. So this is another key characteristic required to be a future-ready company. Resilience is on the CIO agenda of every company across all industries in the world. You know, they have to ensure that their company is prepared for disruptive events such as pandemics and natural disasters. Now, digital resilience in particular, according to IDC, refers to an organization's ability to rapidly adapt to business disruptions by leveraging digital capabilities to not only restore business operations, but also capitalize on those changed conditions. And according to IDC, by 2023, 1 in 3 companies will actually generate more than 30% of their revenues from digital products and services. Now, obviously, companies also need to become much more proactive in identifying weaknesses in their IT infrastructure, right? It's imperative that they have the capability to not only protect their customers' data, as well as their business with a continuous and integrated end-to-end data security. And this should be coupled with a robust maximum availability architecture, a compliant availability architecture, of course. Now, in order to rapidly respond to changing market conditions, businesses need to be able to also quickly scale infrastructure. That could be up, down, that could be achieved both horizontally or vertically. And for that, typically, they're going to be using modern cloud-based platforms. So the next point I want to touch on is total experience. And according to Gartner, total experience, you'll also see this written as TX, combines multi-experience, customer experience, employee experience, and user experience to transform the business outcome. So the goal here is to improve the overall experience where all these pieces intersect. And it is predicted that companies who fully embrace and harness the possibilities of total experience will gain a sustainable competitive advantage. Now, we all know that happy, satisfied employees, like myself, have an impact on productivity and customer satisfaction. And companies need to ensure that they are investing in employee experience. Now, the world at work, as we know, it has changed probably forever, right? Twitter announced that their employees will be allowed to work from home forever. Facebook reported that half of its staff could be working remotely within a decade. Now, our policy here in Oracle, as we start to reopen our offices, will be to provide our employees with similar choices depending on their circumstances. Now, video communications platforms such as Zoom, which we use extensively in Oracle, have made this possible. And Zoom has become, an essential part of our professional and personal lives. And to meet the rapidly increasing demand for its service, especially with the sudden spike in daily meeting participants, Zoom, like others, needed a robust infrastructure for performance, scalability, reliability, and of course, superior security. So leveraging the Oracle Cloud infrastructure for rapid deployment, within hours, Zoom was able to support hundreds of thousands of concurrent Zoom meeting participants. And Zoom, as you're aware, is now enabling millions of simultaneous meeting participants around the world, including this one. Now, investing in the right tools, for remote working is one aspect. Also here at Oracle, we regularly survey our employees to ensure we're doing everything we can to meet all of their needs. We must be all acutely aware that everybody's circumstances are different. On the one side, there are people living alone, with robust access to internet. And on the other hand, employees are living with families and pets, and not everybody has access to stable internet connections. I've done some calls recently with people who have actually been sat in closets, in cupboards. All right, this was with our team in Japan. And as you know, a lot of the homes in the city of Tokyo are actually quite small with very limited room. So there's a society that struggles to adapt to remote working. So, with that in mind, World Mental Health Day was observed in early October. To coincide with that, we published our latest AI at Work survey. It found that as uncertainty remains, anxiety and stress are reaching a tipping point in the workplace. Our research found that 8 out of 10 people say the past year negatively impacted them, with many struggling financially, suffering from declining mental health and loneliness, lacking career motivation, and feeling disconnected from their own lives. Now, 62% say that in 2021, they've actually experienced more stress and anxiety at work than any year before. So these findings obviously are a grim reminder that we're still in the throes of the pandemic, and its repercussions could be felt for many years to come. So, as employers, there are a number of things we can do to address mental health. We can invest in well-being programs to ensure that our employees have access to counseling services. Virtual relaxation classes have become quite popular of late. And in addition, offering new technology to support the workforce is one of the key ways that organizations can support their employees. In 2020, we were surprised to discover that most of the global workforce would be open to seeking mental health support from robots over humans. And this year, over 80% of the respondents believe robots can better support their career development better than humans. I'll say that it was quite skewed towards Asia. There tend to be more acceptance of artificial intelligence and maybe robot advisors, if I can call them that, in the Asia region versus maybe Western Europe or North America. So chatbots are becoming a common interface to AI-driven applications. You know, we're investing heavily in digital assistants. It's not a chatbot, it's a multi-purpose assistant that drives proactive and predictive engagement and understands complex sentence structure with a conversational AI engine at its heart. Now, according to Forbes, whilst obviously AI cannot replace human therapists, but it can support them. It can serve as an early warning system provided 24/7 support. It can offer a lifeline for people who live in rural areas where mental health support is hard to find, or for those who can't afford regular visits to a therapist. So AI has that potential to revolutionize mental and remote healthcare, ultimately making care more accessible, more responsive, and more affordable. So as you move forward, you have to ask yourself, will you be ready to meet the needs of your workforce? You know, you'll be pleased to know that Oracle Cloud HCM can help you with that. We have numerous solutions utilizing digital assistants and leveraging HI. So we talked about employee experience. Total experience also includes customer experience. Now, in the online retail market, digital savvy customers want it now, okay? And if a business can't keep up with this urgent demand for goods or services, that organization will lose that customer to another vendor. So there needs to be a heavy investment in AI and automation in order to create those data points, right? To make actionable recommendations to customers in order to keep them engaged and on your platform. In the financial services space, competition is at an all-time high, and you have traditional bricks and mortar banks competing with super apps. New banks offering 100% digital banking services. Now, going digital has its challenges. DBS here in Singapore, a world leader in digital banking. However, at my local branch over the road, you know, there are still hundreds of customers queuing who want and need face-to-face interaction. So on one hand, you have millennials who expect a full digital experience and expect to be able to transact seamlessly. And on the other hand, you have another generation who may not be so digital savvy, okay, that still require face-to-face interaction. Here in the Philippines, RCBC recently picked up the Best Digital Bank 2021 award. Their digital transformation journey begins and ends with the customer. It's all about providing customer experience. And BDO Unibank has also a commitment to customers as one of its core values. Now, for us at Oracle, recently, with Deutsche Bank, one of the world's largest financial services organizations, we announced a multi-year collaboration to modernize the bank's database technology and accelerate its digital and hence its business transformation. Now, elsewhere in Southeast Asia, in countries like Cambodia, for example, the exponential growth of data along with the adoption of cloud and fintech has led to new business opportunities, including the opportunity for banks to quickly test new products with their growing digital customer base. Now, however, obviously conventional data processing approaches can't keep up with the larger data volumes and higher data velocity. So banks are turning to process automation, advanced analytics driven by machine learning to advance their business objectives and accelerate their digital momentum to improve customer experience. So just as the landscape in this beautiful photograph was transformed over thousands of years by erosion, rain and wind to create this geological wonder, you know, known as the Chocolate Hills, the key to being able to deliver on agility, resilience, and TX is transformation of a different type. It is business transformation. And this will not be achieved with wind and rain and huff and puff. It will be achieved with data. So data is the invisible power inside nearly every action and decision in our private, public, and commercial lives today. Everything we do on our phones and online creates and uses data. Every day, nearly $1 trillion in foreign currency exchange happens digitally, and all that money is just data. Everything driven by AI recommendations, fraud detection, commercial credit checks, all of it powered by data. So it's like, you know, it's like electricity, right? It's like that invisible power inside the modern world. Now, in the past, being a data-driven company used to typically mean we make our decisions based on limited data sets. Now and in the future, it's becoming considerably more than that. Companies use applications that operate on a diverse set of data, spatial, document data, sensor, et cetera, pulled from multiple different sources, often in real time. Now, once that data is transformed, you need to put that data in the hands of users so they can make better, faster, more informed decisions. You need to empower that data and empower your users to drive change and create value in their businesses. Data-driven applications provide insights and create value from data in different ways to traditional applications. For example, they may use machine learning and AI to make real-time recommendations to diners or detect fraudulent credit card transactions. I'm pleased to say that my bank has all of the latest technology, and somebody tried to purchase $400 worth of nail varnish, okay, from a UK online store over the weekend with my credit card. And the bank spotted it straight away, declined the transaction, called me and canceled the card. So that is real time, a fraudulent credit card transaction being detected using AI and machine learning. Now, I don't know about you, I'm a big fan of Formula One. So I'm really, really excited this weekend because it's the final, right? The World Championship will be decided on Sunday. In the bottom right, you have Max Verstappen. And on the top left there is Lewis Hamilton. They're going into this final neck on neck, the same point. So really looking forward to that. Now, Formula One is a great example of data analytics in action. Each racing car has thousands of sensors or streaming information, back to edge-side compute, where real-time decisions based on machine learning models are made in milliseconds to tune that car's performance. And after that race is finished, they transmit all that data back to their data centers and build out and prototype new machine learning models to use in subsequent races. Let's hear from Christian Horner, the team principal at Red Bull, on how they use data.
We compete in one of the biggest sports in the world. There's always adversity. You're going to lose more races than you're going to win. But it's those days that you learn the most. Data is our lifeblood in Formula One. Everything we do is driven by the data that these cars create. We're not allowed to practice like in other sports. So we have a virtual world which we rely very heavy on, but also on the data that these cars generate and how we use that data. So we need to be more personalized, and look, we want to be able to give the fans an insight that they can't get anywhere else. We're in a fortunate position where we can afford to be quite choosy of the partners that we want to work with. It's not just about having a sticker on the car. It's about the technology that it puts into the car as well. And so therefore, a partnership like the one we have with Oracle, the technology that opens up to us is so exciting. At the end of the day, it's about working with your team to try and take on some of the best teams, some of the biggest brands in the world. And when you achieve that, that's the biggest sense of satisfaction.
So thank you, Christian and Red Bull. 9 p.m. the race starts on Sunday. I'll certainly be here watching it. at home. Okay. So look, the easiest way for businesses to generate value or insight from data is to take advantage of data-driven applications. These should be built using modern development paradigms and deployed on flexible, scalable, reliable platforms. So our converged database approach here in Oracle, where we have one database engine with many faces, you don't have to deal with a variety of single-purpose database architectures using different tools, variety of security methods, patching schedules, and upgrade paths. We have a consistent approach regardless of whether you're handling relational, spatial, graph, or document data. We also have blockchain tables as well. So you focus on the business outcome and not on the plumbing. Now, it's the convergence that simplifies everything, allowing us to go from fragmentation to focus. It makes it easier for us to interpret and understand the world around us. And it gives us the ability to be decisive and to act with confidence and make faster decisions. Now, we support multi-cloud, multimodal, allowing you to easily create value across all of your data types. We support multiple workloads, including OLTP, data warehouse, analytics, and machine learning, and also multi-tenancy to ensure that we have a complete security isolation. Now, for our autonomous version, which is a cloud database, that uses machine learning to eliminate the human labor associated with database tuning, security, backups, updates, and other routine management tasks that are traditionally performed by DBAs. So it's the combination of infrastructure automation, database automation tools, and our automated cloud data center operation technologies, that are able to create the autonomous database. It is self-driving, self-securing, self-repairing. Everything is automated: provisioning, clustering, disaster protection, tuning, scale up, scale out, burst, security, and patching, all driven by machine learning. And the expectation is that enterprises will increasingly migrate to this database model to enjoy these advantages, maintain a competitive edge, and gain the ability to refocus IT efforts on innovation rather than database management. Now, many of the Oracle database features that are used to implement autonomous database will be made available on our recently announced X9M Exadata-based platforms. So, this continues our strategy of providing customers with exceptional value by delivering the world's fastest, most available database platform. Exadata, originally launched in 2008, continues to dominate the integrated platform market. And with the release of the latest generation, we continue to see very positive reactions from both analysts and customers alike. So the Exadata vision is to provide extreme performance, availability, low cost, and make it available everywhere. So Exadata has a scale out, horizontally scaling, database optimized compute, networking, and storage to provide the ideal database hardware. And it has unique algorithms that vastly improve OLTP, analytics, and consolidation, as well as fully automated management end-to-end. If we look a little bit more at the software architecture, we see exceptional price performance across multiple use cases. We're able to provide the fastest OLTP I/O because the architecture is based on scale-out storage and servers. For analytics, we use unique smart scan technology that automatically offloads data-intensive SQL operations to storage. And Exadata also has a superior architectural consolidation technologies with that unique ability to prioritize latency-sensitive workloads automatically through the entire stack, as well as provide workload isolation so multiple tenants or workloads are isolated. Now, we have thousands of critical deployments worldwide. There's a few of the customers that we've worked with over the years, and you can see they have a range of use cases, including petabyte warehouses, supercritical IoT, such as financial trading, e-commerce. We also see complex applications leveraging Exadata, SAP Fusion apps, and also database consolidation continues to be one of the greater use cases within the Exadata community. So, we make it available everywhere, okay? It's available on-prem in a traditional environment, managed by the customer in your own data center. It's available as cloud at customer, okay, where we bring all of the public cloud benefits to the customer's own data center. And it's also available in Exadata Cloud Service, where we have that within our cloud environments.
The promise of a digital world is upon us. The future of data is in the cloud. Businesses are undergoing massive transformations in ways they never thought possible. To adjust and remain competitive, a comprehensive cloud strategy will be central to success. But for businesses that must keep at least some data on-premise, migrating may not be an option. Oracle is pioneering the second generation of on-premise cloud computing. Based on the world's best database platform, Oracle Gen 2 Exadata Cloud at Customer provides a solution. With architectural equivalency, whether on-premise, Exadata Cloud at Customer, or Exadata Cloud Service, customers get a public cloud experience delivered in their data center with security built in, and with the ease, simplicity, and flexibility of the software that powers Gen 2 Oracle Cloud infrastructure. It's all completely managed by Oracle, giving you the full management service you get with the public cloud, and a pay-as-you-grow subscription-based model, so you only pay for what you need. It's already adding tremendous value for customers worldwide. It's easier to join the cloud than you think. Oracle Cloud at Customer brings it all to you.
So, what is hybrid cloud? Just as a transport hub provides choice between bus, taxis, trains, and air, and we take the best route or the most cost-effective route, hybrid cloud provides choice and refers to the effective mixture of on-premise, private cloud, and public cloud services, all working seamlessly together to power an entire organization. The configuration is flexible depending on the requirements and can include private assets and other applications, all with the goal of balancing the possible variables, from resource usage to compatibility with legacy applications. So in many cases, hybrid cloud computing offers a perfect solution between the benefits of modern cloud technology and the practical limitations of cloud capabilities. It also allows organizations to take a phased approach to public cloud adoption for their transition needs, so that they can take into account legacy hardware, proprietary data, or other reasons that they may not be quite ready to move to full public cloud at this time. So why hybrid cloud? We talked about agility earlier, right? You can quickly develop, test, prototype, launch new products, get to market faster. Key, right? In the times we live in now. Scalability, workloads can scale or burst as required automatically, adjusting to changes in demand, faster provisioning of environments, and you can quickly stand up short-term projects with higher, computing needs, for example. Portability, you can move workloads quickly and freely between public and private cloud. Business continuity, maybe you can offload backups and archival services. High availability and disaster recovery. And you can also obviously separate sensitive and non-sensitive data. And last and never least, security. You can put in place a stronger centralized data center management and security implementation and execution. You address data sovereignty regulations, simplify and optimize database management capabilities. So there's a lot of reasons, a lot of good reasons why you would choose a hybrid cloud deployment to be a future-ready company. Now, when it comes to hybrid cloud deployments, organizations have various requirements around performance control, security, location, so on. And OCI fulfills customer needs by offering different deployment options with high performance, low latency, and comprehensive security measures that provide the most complete support for hybrid cloud strategies. So we have taken, a customer-centric path. We heard customers asking for local presence. So we've invested in that ability to bring many more data center regions closer to customers instead of just a few scattered regional data centers. We're able to do this because we architect them with a second mover advantage. We don't carry the same technical debt as some of the hyperscalers. So today we have 34 cloud regions in 17 countries, 5 breathtaking years of growth. And our investment, innovation, and growth continues to be driven by your requirements. We're grateful for that because it's our customers that are driving that demand to our cloud regions. So OCI has arrived in Southeast Asia, not in a jeepney, I might add. It's been 2 to 3 years of planning and a lot of investment. And we recently launched OCI in Singapore. So we now have a Singapore cloud region. This will provide a window into our growing global network with exactly the same set of services as we provide across all our regions. So customers will have access to the entire global market through our low latency backbone and cloud region network. We cater for all enterprise applications from legacy to cloud native. And you can, of course, migrate Oracle applications like Business Suite and PeopleSoft. And we also have a fleet of over 60 industry applications in areas like financial services, healthcare, retail, and utilities. And they're all certified. Now, obviously, not everybody uses all Oracle applications. So, of course, we support applications purchased from other vendors, whether they're built by large enterprise customers or by small born in the cloud startups. And they are all available in our cloud marketplace. So regardless of the type of application, Oracle Cloud helps customers increase their availability and disaster recovery options. They can pick up workloads running on premises and switch them on identically onto the cloud in order to provide disaster recovery services, for example. So for customers here in the Philippines, and we have many who are already deploying or in the process of deploying Exadata Cloud at Customer, they will also now have the option, obviously, of running their management layers in the Singapore cloud region, as well as access cloud services provided out of Singapore. So some people like to say, excuse me, we drink our own champagne. That's actually water. But in Southeast Asia, we actually eat our own palabok, which is probably much more appropriate. Now, with our integrated suite, of enterprise cloud applications and cloud infrastructure platforms, we have a unique advantage to continuously evolve and improve. OCI, coupled with Oracle SaaS, lets your business implement process changes faster and build and extend your applications better. But the point here is not only are we one of the largest creators of infrastructures, we're also one of the largest consumers. We eat our own lunch. We're one of the largest consumers of that infrastructure. So this creates a virtuous cycle where we can discover features that could be improved to make building applications easier and more secure, and then we can transfer those learnings onto our customers. Now, we also deploy machine learning and AI around specific vertical industries. As an example, today, medical imaging and genomic sequencing companies use Oracle machine learning to gain insights on biological data like X-rays, CT scans, and cancer screenings, delivering crucial help in finding cures. So this synergy of applications and infrastructure makes us one of the only integrated applications and technology vendors today. So let's hear now from Chipotle, who are experts in the field of burritos and tacos served with integrity. They were looking for a solution to power surging growth whilst running a sustainable business.
We all feel the way the world's changing. Our mission is to cultivate a better world, but to have the impact that we believe we can have, we needed to provide more access to our food. That access provides a greater market for farmers that are doing the right things. But our challenge was through the digital channels.
We had a vision that we could become a very strong player in the digital business. We had to re-engineer and change the infrastructure of our restaurants.
And with Oracle, we found tremendous alignment.
It's impossible to manage without the right technology.
They played an instrumental role with our digital kitchens.
With the suite of products of Oracle, your world opens up. And so you start looking at everything that that tool can do and you say, oh, we can solve that problem and that problem and that problem and that problem and that problem. Implement it all. It will allow us to grow and to plan for the medium and the long term.
The move that we've made in digital, it's truly transformational.
Now, we're able to set an example for people out there to go and do the right things, to raise food the right way, to treat people, to treat farmers with the respect that they deserve, and ultimately cultivate a better world.
Excellent. It's actually making me quite hungry. It must be nearly lunchtime, right? Now, while we're still on the subject of food, you cannot live in this region without being a lover of fresh home-produced produce. Walking into a wet market and seeing all of the specialized stores, everybody doing something different and better than others. It's exactly the same for enterprises. And multi-cloud is a reality in today's world. As customers have become more and more informed, more discerning, and ready to explore their options and reduce concentration risk in their cloud solutions by leveraging best-in-class multi-cloud providers. So OCI thrives in a multi-cloud environment. We have a range of specialized cloud services, such as Exadata as a service or the autonomous database. And specialized does not have to mean lock-in. Both the Oracle database and MySQL are ranked the #1 and #2 most popular database systems in the world, but we're still one of the most open vendors. Both of these databases run not just only on Oracle Cloud, they also run on third-party clouds as well. Now, regardless of where you run it, we have cloud services like Oracle Data Safe to help customers manage the risks and implement security controls consistently, whether it's running in OCI or in third-party clouds. Open also means portable. So if you're a cloud native developer, then the open source frameworks and the DevOps tooling that you're most likely using already today are all certified and readily available. And recognizing our customers' needs, we also have a partnership with Microsoft to provide a low latency interconnect between OCI and Azure. So customers can run applications that span both of these environments and can do that completely seamlessly across those deployments, utilizing a single data fabric. So earlier, we talked about hybrid cloud. And according to Gartner, by 2021, over 75% of mid-sized and large organizations will have adopted a multi-cloud or hybrid cloud IT strategy. The industry has evolved from being unsure about multi-cloud to widespread acceptance and having a clear strategic focus. So you will recall the hybrid cloud model that I shared earlier. This diagram extends that model and illustrates a hybrid multi-cloud model where customers are leveraging multiple public clouds. These are gaining in popularity, and I often see solutions that include private cloud environments running on Exadata. I see Exadata Cloud at customer running alongside environments connecting to Azure or Google, interconnected or in co-locations. Okay, so definitely, hybrid multi-cloud, hybrid, that's the platform that's going to deliver you the agility, the scalability, and the resiliency that you need to be a future-ready company. Now, we're going to continue to invest in expanding our global data center footprint. I think we've got another 10 already planned for 2022. But we'll do that whilst looking after the environment, and we're fueling our growth without any shortcuts or compromises. We believe in looking after environment for both current and future generations. So that's why by 2025, all of our OCI regions worldwide will be powered by 100% renewable energy, and we will be well on track to meet that target. So they're aggressive targets, but that's fine, right? That's what we have to do. It's a boundary that is worth us pushing. So sustainability, a nice segue to sustainability, is defined by the United Nations as meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future. And as many of you, I'm sure, are aware, the UK recently hosted the COP26, where more than 190 country delegations, including the Philippines, gathered in Scotland for 12 days of talks. One of the main objectives was to secure agreement for a global net zero by mid-century and keep 1.5 degree limit on global warming within reach. And for the first time, two of the world's largest carbon emitters, the United States and China, agreed to work together to reduce emissions. There are also agreements put in place to reduce methane emissions by 30% by 2030, phase out coal, and accelerate the adoption to electric vehicles. There was also a consensus reached that the developed countries should fulfill their pledge of providing $100 billion annually to developing countries and put in place a loss and damage fund as many poorer countries face disasters that can cost billions of dollars and are far more than the size of their economy. Intense droughts are wiping out crops, rising seas forcing entire villages to relocate, for example. So why do business leaders care? Sustainable development goes beyond just a public relations stint and branding, right? It can actually directly affect companies' bottom line and ensure that a business is profitable for the years to come. A recent Nielsen report showed that 66% of consumers would spend more for a product if it came from a sustainable brand. And 81% of global consumers feel strongly that companies should help improve the environment. Millennials particularly are also starting to shift their financial investments, to ethical portfolios, to companies who have a strong sustainability roadmap. McKinsey also reported that a sustainability strategy can reduce costs substantially and can affect operating profits by as much as 60%. So being sustainable can also improve relations with government and the local community, and can also get the company tax incentives and subsidies. So with millennials becoming the largest workforce, not having a sustainability strategy can mean losing out on a lot of good talent. In the same report, nearly 40% of millennials have taken a job because of a company's sustainability programs and direction. And some are even willing to take pay cuts to work at an environmentally responsible company. So if you want to get the top talent, you better invest in sustainability. So where do you start? In a recent report from Forrester on APAC, it was reported that 33% of large companies have a named sustainability lead. 53% have greenhouse gas emissions reduction targets, and 41% have set carbon neutral dates. So that momentum is starting and building in the Asia Pac region. For us at Oracle, I'll just let you take a look at these. For us at Oracle, we got a set of targets to achieve net zero emission by 2050. We want to halve our greenhouse gas emissions by 2030, both operationally and in our supply chain. So we expect our suppliers to have in place environmental programs as well as emissions reductions targets. We're also targeting water and waste reductions and have introduced a free recycling program for all Oracle hardware. The Oracle Industries Innovation Lab is a unique facility that brings together our customers, our technology partners, and the complete Oracle portfolio to incubate and demonstrate new solutions to complex business challenges. By embedding new technologies into hands-on simulated industry settings, we help customers experiment, learn, and innovate to stay ahead. So our second Oracle Innovation Lab opens in the spring in 2022 in Reading in the United Kingdom. And at the lab, customers and partners will experiment with innovative strategies to lower carbon outputs. And to spark the best ideas, we needed to replicate, real life challenges in physical environment, right? So the lab will serve as a space where technology can help businesses and communities to lower carbon footprint and reduce waste. Let's look at, I think I have time, yeah. Let's look at some of the companies who are leveraging Oracle technologies for the greater good. Argent Energy. Imagine a world where used cooking oil, food waste, sewer grease, and other degraded waste are transformed into biofuel instead of being sent to a landfill. That's a fundamental part of Argent Energy's vision. Reduce the world's carbon footprint using sustainable resources. So Argent used degraded waste to produce biodiesel, which it supplies to truck and bus fleet operators across the UK. Retraced. So despite some fashion brands' efforts to mandate safe and upstanding working conditions at the factories they buy from, there hasn't been much visibility into the increasing volume of subcontracted work. The mission of Retraced is to enable its manufacturing customers to provide that supply chain visibility via a blockchain application that lets consumers know exactly who made their products, from which materials, and under what conditions. And as we can see, blockchain increasingly is being used. As we know, blockchain is increasingly being used in applications to track and trace, authenticate provenance of goods, whether it be diamonds, French red wine, medicines, and more importantly now vaccines, helping to secure the supply chain. Ledestri is an innovative, highly innovative co-packing company and winner of an Oracle Excellence Award. They pioneered 100% recyclable plastic containers, which are much more widely recycled than glass. It's far lighter, which means lower fuel emissions via less trucks on the road. They also have this incredible high pressure processing service station that kills microbes in packaged foods without the applications of heat. Just imagine it applies 87,000 pounds of water pressure on sealed products. And this ensures that those products can last longer than current products without the use of preservatives, leading to the production of healthy food. Let's hear now from John Chorley, our Chief Sustainability Officer and Group Vice President.
We've really celebrated all of the initiatives that our customers have driven using Oracle technology and other technologies to drive sustainability initiatives within different businesses, different organizations. We have customers in the food packaging industry, and their goal is to really decarbonize the entire supply chain. In the industrial manufacturing sector, Alcar, who is an automotive parts supplier of steel wheels, is looking how they can use less and cleaner energy in their manufacturing processes. Unilever is a classic example of a business-to-consumer company with many, many brands, and we've worked with them very closely on transportation, where we have significantly reduced their CO2 emissions from the transportation of their products. Reducing inventory and waste in the food industry is obviously critical, and we've worked with Ledestri around their planning processes in order to achieve very significant goals in that area. Enabling smart cities is a critical aspect of sustainability, and we've worked with the city of San Jose on a variety of initiatives around efficient transportation, improved waste management, and improved connection to all of their citizens.
You know, beautiful, iconic skylines do not just happen by accident. Urban plans are forward-looking, and they are meticulous in their design and how all of the various elements interlock together to make up that beautiful skyline. And that is how you need to approach the transformation to a future-ready business, stitching together those elements of agility, resiliency, total experience, and sustainability. So we also covered today how important data is to delivering on those aspirations. We talked about how hybrid and multi-cloud architecture can deliver on that promise. And in addition, I showcased some of the solutions that Oracle can help you with on that business transformation journey. So I hope that you are inspired to reimagine the future of business together with Oracle and our partners. So, with that, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the organizers. I really enjoyed presenting today. So thank you for joining us, the audience. And if you have any questions or require further information about our solutions, please do scan my QR code, connect with me on LinkedIn. And of course, you can also reach out to our Oracle team members and our partners. Now, one last final note. In addition to environmental pleasures, many companies have commitments around social as well. And in Oracle, we have a volunteer program for the last 30 years. Our employees have supported causes close to their hearts, such as mentoring students in coding, planting trees, keeping beaches litter-free, for example. So for our last video today, we're going to hear from Ivan, who joined Oracle as a technical analyst in 2020, and he understood and understands the importance of giving back, and he wants to carry that ethos into his work life.
Welcome to Philippines. Thank you for stopping by. Hi everyone, my name is Ivan and I work for Oracle Service Cloud as a technical analyst. So Virtual Hour of Code is a workshop for kids learning how to code and to share what will be the future looks like with the technology. It was founded in US and we just brought here in the Philippines and by doing it, but we just adapted it. I'm happy that I was able to lead it here in the Philippines. I think it's new that we taught them how to build a basic game, and I immediately asked help for the HR then to get some volunteers, and yeah, even my teammates helped me. So I was really happy on how it flowed and it worked, and everyone was collaborating. Even I actually got 10 volunteers, and some of them even donated from their personal money and personal donations of keyboards, headphones, and other stuff just for the kids' prizes in our games. So it was a really heartwarming event. So I think we have made an impact on the future because we have taught them how to code, and the technology is changing, and it is already the trend. So they may have the chance to become a part of an IT world. So Oracle has a focus on education that helps other youth to finish their studies or to to mold their careers in their future. That's why Oracle Volunteering is here. Paalam, maraming salamat sa pagpunta dito sa Pilipinas. Hanggang sa muli.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much. And maraming salamat. And I wish all of you a very Merry Christmas, wherever you may be. Back to our hosts.